rid of your traveler's check. No, it's approved. It's old-fashioned. Well, it takes care of business. Never needs finding, never needs finding, never needs finding. Gets rid of blackheads, heartbreak, psoriasis. Christ, you don't know the meaning of heartbreak, buddy. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. It's effective. It's effective. It creates household odors. It disinfects and sanitizes for your protection. Gives you an erection. It wins the election. Why put up with painful
dating.
redeemable proof on no obligation, no sales, no physical home. We got a jacket-
I don't know what it's come to. I'm 31.
Rise.
I used to be able to go out, just tell a girl she was hot, beautiful, whatever, have some drinks, flirt with her, try to get her to come back to my place. Not anymore. Now it's all online. People ask, how is she? I never even met the girl that I'm telling my friends and family, oh, I'm texting this girl through this dating app. And I start to get asked, how is she? It's about the equivalent of having an imaginary friend. And I'm 31 and my parents are actually asking me, how is this imaginary friend of yours, Joe? I've never even met her. I could be chatting with a 14-year-old boy for all I know. So after Christmas, I had to return something. Something that I actually bought for myself. That always happens to me. I go out holiday shopping and looking for other people, and I end up getting something for myself. Anyways, that's something I had to return. And I actually thought that I should explain, this is what I'm returning, this is why there was a problem with it. And I'm telling this to the girl, and I realize she doesn't care. She's going to return it no matter what. I don't have to tell. Like, I actually felt obligated to say, I went back there to see if there was another one. I would have done an exchange, but they're all out. And I can just see in her eyes, she doesn't give a fuck. And now you see how computers are turning into humans, or vice versa. They're basically robots. Don't ever explain why you're returning something, just return it. I really have a strange sense in me. I sit in a computer office environment and I listen to what other people do. And I'm like, oh my God, that person, there is no way that person can stand what they do for a living. And they seem to be, they get off the phone and they're talking, oh yeah, no, these numbers and blah, blah, blah. And seem like everything's hunky-dory. And I just want them to, for some reason, I just want them to admit that you hate your job, admit that you potentially think about suicide. Why? I don't know why I'm like that, but I just want people to admit. After you get off that phone, just admit that you couldn't stand what you just did, and the fact that you have to do it tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, and the next. But then you just keep coming back to it. Hey, here you go again. Damn it. I've come to realize that if you work a white-collar job or own a business in the modern age today, it's currently 2014, you're probably attached to your iPhone or your smartphone, whatever you have, the Galaxy, and you got your computer, and basically you have to be digitally alert from when you wake up until the day winds down, especially on the weekdays. I think that's what America's come to. Unless you're a semi-truck driver or a plumber or electrician, you probably have to be digitally awake between, about 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's how the modern world works. We are all virtually awake between 7 and 5. That's when I'm sending the emails. I'm I'm checking the iPhone. I got 50 apps. I'm checking the weather app. Somebody calls me. They ask me, how's the weather? I read the app to them. That's just what the world has come to. We live virtually during the day. You sleep at night. You dream at night. You virtually live between 7 and 5. And you get a little bit of real life in the evening. That's it. When I'm at work, I'll listen to a lot of people taking extended breaks, talking amongst each other, thinking they're funny, laughing. At the time, I mean, in their own presence, I can see. I mean, they're laughing. So it must be somewhat fun. But me, being the true comedian, I'm actually very quiet throughout the day. People would never guess. He's the most serious guy here. He sits there, he does the data, he sits there. But what I'm really doing is working on my stand-up comedy, so I'm jotting it down. But I get such a kick out of these people sitting there, standing there, trying, do your job, Go do your job. The owner of this business isn't paying you to be a comedian. Although I just kind of contradicted myself because I'm sitting there working on my stand-up. But nonetheless, hey, that's beyond the point. These people need to be doing their job and stop trying to be office comedians. I'm so tired of the office comedian. If you think you're so funny, try and do what I'm doing right now. Got it.
Boy, I got in pork pie, Stetson hats, and that's how tuberculosis is so
I think
bad.
most businesses are basically set up in somewhat of, if you will, a pyramid scheme. Somebody's at the top and it trickles down. The new employees obviously are at the bottom. And the ambitious ones work their way up. And eventually they get up there close to those people at the top. And when they get there, they realize what bullshit they were going through. They were basically treated like slaves for a few years. They look at the bottom, they see those people now working where they used to work. And they say, I worked that hard to get here? And I'm still unhappy? And you start to drink or do something or not work as hard anymore, and you lose your job entirely. And now you're back on the street. And then natural ambition kicks in. You apply for jobs and you get a job and you say, here I am, back at the bottom. And I'm gonna fight again. But now I know where I'm heading. And it turns into a vicious cycle.
Used to be jerking off most of my time.